An institution or an organization is as good as its website or its data bank. It is important that the PDI should not be operating as just a local organization, a local institute. It should have the capacity to relate with international organizations from all over the world. And therefore, there must be, the website that can give us visibility. And if you cannot be visible, then you cannot play in international scene. So we don't want the PDI to be a local champion anymore. We want to operate in the international space. And therefore, anyone from any part of the world can look at the PDI, can see the activities of the PDI from our website and other interfaces that we have. I'm also glad to announce to you that the PDI, ever since I came in on the 10th of this January this year, has also been able to build an international standard website where all the activities of the PDI are now being uploaded for viewing from all over the world. So that is the direction we're going. We are going to do that as development component of the PDI and make it an international organization. And people will see what we are doing, and by extension, also see what the People's Democratic Party is doing in deepening and promoting democracy, not just in Nigeria, but in the world at large. We shall establish the PDI social media team for promotion of the PDI, and by extension, whatever the PDI will be doing, everyone knows that the PDI is the baby of the People's Democratic Party. So by extension, it should be promoting the People's Democratic Party as the largest political party, if you like, in Africa. Please, if you look at the souvenirs that you have, you will see all our social media, and the 6 of them, they are all operational, they are all functioning, attracting followers from all over the world. You can also please use the opportunity to join us on the social media space. We shall set all the physical and electronic library. It is important. A research institute must have both physical and electronic library. The library is actually supposed to be an open, a public space that the PDI will provide for both politicians and non-politicians alike to come in there and carry out their research. And of course, that is going to help the PDI also in promoting their research findings about that. Research. The Institute is fundamentally a research and training arm of the People's Democratic Institute. And we are going to take that very, very serious as the fulcrum of what the PDI is supposed to be doing. Every political party must have their research arm. And if you have a research arm, like we have, pace setting in Nigeria, and others are now trying to copy us. But we must try to begin to live up to the expectation that we can carry out research. It is important. And when we carry out this research, we must put it out there for both local and international consumption. It is important to get a database and we can work out things that can make people naturally, even farmers on their farms, to be willing to pay, even if it's 100 naira or 200 naira as dues to the People's Democratic Party to help us in the area of funding. The PDI will float a journal. Out of all these things we'll be doing, we'll be publishing them, putting them up there on the website, and we shall also be publishing them. Float a journal, and we propose that the journal will be called PDI, Journal of Democracy Studies. PDI, Journal of Democracy Studies. We shall also look at sourcing funds for the PDI, organizing training workshop which will lead to certification. I want to use this opportunity to present to us that we cannot continue to produce leadership without training. We cannot continue to produce leadership without some kind of knowledge about what leadership is all about. The PDI will be poised to doing that. And what we shall do, maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks training, is to culminate into the issuance of certificate for people to participate. And of course, that will be a source of funding for the People's Democratic Institute. I use this opportunity to crave the indulgence of the leadership of the party, from councillorship, all appointed political appointees and elected political people should also please take this training seriously, and that was in that direction. Grant writing. As an individual, I have won grants severally from my small office room in the university. The PDI is a larger pedestal for us to win several grants in support of the institute as well as the party.
His Excellency Abubakar Bukola Saraki. Honorary.
Very much. Your Excellency, the Governor of New York State, Chairman of our party, represented, and all our leaders in stand and existing protocol because of time. Honestly, I'm very, very excited to be here at this event. Let me congratulate the leaders of the party for what is long overdue in putting to work this institute, the PDI, to become functional. Let me commend particularly the Governor of your state on the support you have given to this institute. Let me also commend those who have taken time out to be here. Your presence here gives hope to a lot of our members and to Nigerians, because we see the importance of this institute. This is the institute that will shape the ideas of our parties, that will give hope to Nigerians. What do we represent? What is PDP about? And your presence here shows that you see how important it is. Let me also thank you all for coming here to be part of this program. I will not have missed it for anything, because I think it's time that we're ready to build this party. Party are built on ideas, philosophies, and policies. Let us move away from building ideas on self, on ambition. You cannot have an ambition if you don't have a party. You cannot have a party if you don't have ideas. This is where it starts from. This is the foundation that is important. Let us desist from talking about who is running for councillor, who is running for governor, or who is running for president in 2027. Let us talk about what is PDP. What does PDP represent? What are the issues and policies that we want to debate? This is what is important for us. This is what Nigerians outside want to know. This is what is important, and that is why, all my support, the GG, the Board of Trustees, I will support this institute. Even today, I will quietly give my quiet donation towards the institution of 10 million naira to support this institute and I hope all others support, because this is the foundation. As Secretary Wolo said, I too have been traveling in a number of places. When you meet people, any institution, NRI, NTI, even in Europe, they ask us, where is our own? And they look at us, Nigeria, such a big political party, we don't have anything like this. It is an embarrassment, but today we are closing that chapter. And the message we are also sending to Nigerians is that this is a serious party, because there is no other party today that is doing this. Let us be leaders, and we will continue to lead. Let PDP lead that way. So I wish you all the best, DG, and I hope by next time we meet you will not be a team of 3. That you will have more than that. But I know it's the resources that is making you be a team of 3. So please let us see that this institution grows and becomes very strong. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best.
We have to hear from the National Assembly.
I don't know how I can express my joy, my happiness towards Governor of Oyo State, Dr. Makinde has done. I also am very opportune to represent him on this occasion to give a little history of how the PDI came about, and also to add some suggestions to the wonderful idea of the roadmap that has been presented to us by the DG. When we formed the People's Democratic Party, and I was the first national secretary, I reached out to the IRI, International Republican Institute, and the PDI, which was also the Democratic Institute. These two institutes take their origin from the Republican Party and the Democratic Party in the United States. And they are propagating democracy across the world. So we got a lot of assistance when we formed the party from there. And I asked myself, if we are the largest political party in Africa, why can't we also have our own institute? Even if we don't begin to influence the world, let us begin to influence Africa. So this idea that if we had an institute that was powerful enough that in the future, anybody who becomes a president or prime minister in Africa would have attended the People's Democratic Institute. Why I had that ambition was that we had a very powerful presence in international community as a country. And if we spoke at the international arena, and the presidents and prime ministers of African countries who pass through our institutes are then supporting Nigeria and Africa to have a more powerful voice. So we thought about having the institute have a homegrown democracy. What is the democracy that we can grow in Africa, taking whatever democratic ideals that exist across the world and grow an African democracy, which, in our view, is a democracy in which the people work in partnership with their government. Today, in Africa, the government is here and the people are there. But if the people work in partnership with the government, the pace of development will triple, because the policies of government are the policies of the people. And when the people identify with the policy, they begin in their individual ways, wherever they are, working on that policy with the government, and certainly there will be better results. So this was one of the ideas we had. So when we acquired this property in Walata Plaza and we moved in here, one of the worst days of my life was when some African presidents formed an institute and took a former deputy governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria to make the DG of that institute, and with almost the same ideals we had in mind when we formed the People's Democratic Institute. I now can sleep peacefully in my house with the hope that the People's Democratic Institute will, being 20-something years old, overtake what the African presidents are now forming yesterday. So we are here to wish you well and to ask every member of our party to support this institute. If we can train our councillors, local government chairmen, our House of Assembly members, our governors, House of Rep, the senators, and our presidential, our presidents and the vice presidents, if they can pass through this institute after winning an election, and we can train them to know why we formed the PDP. What is the meaning of the colors of PDP? And you know, these things were not formed by accident. They didn't come by accident. The name People's Democratic Party did not come by accident. We had 36 names, and we debated the 36 names before we decided on People's Democratic Party, because we were moving from military regime into full-fledged democracy. And we wanted this in all its meaning in democracy. Democracy is the government of the people, by the people, for the people. So we have to form a democracy built around the people. That's how we came about People's Democratic Party. And these colors we chose, they have meaning. Now, a number of our people who are in elected position, they have no idea what is the meaning of our People's Democratic Party. They have no idea the meaning of our flag. They don't even know how we form the slogan, PDP, power to the people. If they know the thoughts that went into this and what they really mean to the founding fathers, I don't think we will be where we are today. Because these things have deep meaning for the people of our country and for the leadership of our country to prosecute those meanings that the founding fathers had in mind. So I am so happy that we are back on track. The People's Democratic Institute has so much work to do. It is the engine room of the party in government. It is the engine room where we group the policies of government, assess the politics of government, rewind it, add value to it, and improve on it on a daily basis. Because people in government don't have time for all of this. They're so busy with their schedule in their office. But the engine room is working 24 hours with professionals, with experienced people from all over the world, coming in to have seminars, conferences, debates, and fine-tuning the policies of government and making sure we are on top of our game at every time. So it's a very challenging institute if it has to live out its mandate. But with the support of our governors in Madinge, and I hope other governors and well-meaning leaders of our party, that this institute will bet on a solid ground and live out its mission. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
National Assembly. As you are well aware, we are products of the PDP, the platform that drew us up. And for me as a person, I hold the party in very high esteem because since
since 1998, when I ran to become chairman of my local government. This party has never abandoned me, and I'm here today. And today is particularly significant because when you go out there and some operative analysis is carried out by other members or commentators of public affairs, they ask you the question, what is the difference between all these parties? Particularly, they ask you what is the difference between PDP and APC. And that is because they think that we are not ideologically grounded. We don't have a policy trust that differentiates us from the other parties. And it's a little embarrassing when that becomes an argument as to whether to accept PDP as an alternative or not. And so today, the PDI is coming on board more forcefully to provide that ground norm of party operation. And that means by whatever they will articulate from their researches, PDP will be able to have a face that is different from the other political parties. We must have a set of ideas that we look up to, that will drive our vision, that will make us achieve our mission. That is what PDI represents. From 1998 up to this moment, you want to realize that there was a time the PDP had control of 28 states and the presidency and the National Assembly, both the Senate and the House of Representatives. But our fortunes have continued to dwindle election after election. And I was privileged to be a member of several committees to examine the root cause of our dwindling fortunes. Whether it was the Equilibrium Committee or it was the Jerry Ghana Committee, all were intended to find out the root causes of our failures in elections. And so, if we have an institute of this nature that provides a body of knowledge of what to expect in an election, that will also examine what has happened during the elections and why we failed in elections, definitely all these committees would not have been necessary. And unfortunately, even the reports of these committees have not been executed. So, if we have an aging room at the PDI, I think would have moved a step further in consolidating the PDP. And from the National Assembly, because we know where we are coming from, on behalf of myself, members of the Senate, and indeed the National Assembly, we pledge our unalloyed support. And because we know that finance drives things, we will continue to relate with the establishment of PDI and make our modest contributions from time to time. We will not have a large consume of money to give at a time, but at least whatever we can contribute, we will lift the PDI. And so today and always, we are committed to upholding the tenets of the People's Democratic Party and by extension, the PDI. Thank you very much.
My leaders that are here, former Governor Wodo, former Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki, members of the National Working Committee, elders, leaders, members of the National Assembly, ably represented by Comrade Senator Abba Moro, former members that are here also. Former governor of Kogi State, Governor Idris Wada, they are duly recognized. And then members of the Board of Governors of the PDI about to be inaugurated, they are duly recognized. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, a lot have been said about PDI, how it came to be by Governor Onwodo, and also others that have had interaction with PDI. But the question I will ask is, what will you want to be remembered for? This is a question that every politician who's had the opportunity to serve at any capacity in our great nation should ask themselves. Because players will come and go. Dr. Bukola Saraki was a former governor. He left that position, went to the Senate. He occupied the #3 position in this country. So, last dispensation, he was going to be the president of Nigeria. He ran to be the president. So, the situation is so dynamic, but you have to be remembered for something. So today, with the inauguration of the PDI Board of Governors and unveiling of the PDI roadmap by the DG, Dr. Edward Adie, the People's Democratic Party is moving a step closer to defining the ideology that the party stands for and cementing what the party as a whole will want to be remembered for. This is the essence and the significance of today. But let me pause at this junction to also say, Comrade Abamoro was there. He said, thank you, since 1998, he has been benefiting from PDP. For me also, from 2019, I've been benefiting from PDP. So I want to say thank you to our great party and all the stakeholders gathered here today for giving me the opportunity to get not one, but 2 mandates back to back under this umbrella. The only thing I can promise you is that since I've fetched water from that well, I've been drinking since 2019, I will not pollute the well when it's time for me to exit that position. The journey to this day has not been all smooth, but I'm thankful that we're able to overcome all the obstacles along the way. Let me especially thank all the people that are members of the party that have put aside grievances and played a role in the re-establishment and revitalization of the PDI. From history, I know that when PDI was formed, this was during President Olusegun Obasanjo's time, and it was championed by our father of the day, Waziri Adamawa, former Vice President Abubakar Atiku. And when PDI was formed then, It was contributing positively to governance initiatives and also serve as a platform for strategic insights into national development. So when we take a pause and we say, okay, what happened during the 16 years of PDP in power nationally? You can see that the PDI played a pivotal role, and during those years, we can rightly refer to as the golden years, because things were working, you could plan. We got debt forgiveness, we were interacting with everybody around the world. We were not a pariah nation, but you can just imagine where we were coming from, 1998, before that election, before PDP took over governance, and what happened immediately after that. And then 2015 happened. And we should all remember that 2015 happened simply because we disagreed amongst ourselves. That was the basis for 2015 happening. Due to our loss of the #1 seat in the 2015 general elections, PDI became largely inactive. And we all can see how Nigeria's economy has fared since 2015. Things have simply gone from bad to worse. As we're taking from the next level of economic instability to renewed troubles. This is where we are now. Senator Abamoto said that some people will ask, what is even the difference between PDP and APC? Are we the same? Are we two sides of the same coin? Well, PDI is a differentiator. So we serve as a training center, and with the roadmap, I think we are well on the way to differentiating PDP from other political parties in Nigeria. I'm confident the PDI Board of Governors, led by His Excellency Ambassador Tawil Karabaja, understands the assignment and will see to the actualization of the goal of revitalizing the People's Democratic Institute. My own people, they will say, if a woman marries two husbands, then that woman will know the difference. I think Nigerians, they married two husbands. They've seen PDP in government, they've seen APC in government, and I know they are ready to go back to the husband of their youth. Let me use this opportunity to call on all our party faithful and lovers of Nigeria to rally. In a few days, we will be heading to Ondo State. We need true reconciliation and unity to wrestle power from the APC in Ondo State. We know we are more popular. You all listened to the debate. You saw that our candidate is the only one with a clue what governance should look like for the people of Ondo State. So we must work together to ensure that no form of rigging, either institutional or being propagated by the ruling party, will succeed. We must go to Ondo State as one united party and resist any attempt to truncate the will of the people. The PDP is the only party in Nigeria that have given the youth the opportunity to be part of political institutions. And I do know that the PDI will only expand that space. I'm getting old myself. Not too old, I'm still youthful at heart. And my mind and body also is still youthful. So I know that I will be part of the effort to ensure that youth are given opportunities to participate in the political process. So finally, this unveiling serves as a renewal of the PDP pledge to start planning for governance and set out the blueprint to rebuild our nation. The PDP can and will do everything in its power to fix Nigeria. Let me borrow, where's the Osaro? Yes, we can fix Nigeria. We fix PDP and then PDP will fix Nigeria. And that will be the basis of real hope for the people of Nigeria. So I have a final question. When the history of Nigeria is written, you and I, because history is being made today, you and I will be remembered as the people who stood up to say, yes, there's a Nigerian dream. That dream will be shaped by a clear political ideology and the clear political ideology by the PDP through the PDI will shape that ideology. So my question is, are you ready?
Yes.
Thank you and God bless you.
The bottom line, what we're saying is that if you don't plan well, you plan to fail. You plan well, you plan to fail. In 1998, we planned well, and we had power for 16 years. We are now beginning to plan well again. And when we succeed this time, Nigeria will take a fresh breath. And with PDI, we will sustain power for many more years. Because the engine room will be all and running. On that note, I want to invite all of us as we unveil our new engine room, where we will rebuild our party and rebuild our country. You are welcome.
Excellency Governor Lujuni, Excellency was looking for you on the table here.
Now you can see us holding the roadmap. And we want to unveil this roadmap with God on our side. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
national chairman, and to me, the People's Democratic Institute Board of Governors is a very important.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, that's inauguration. We need a round of applause for this faculty of media. A resounding round of applause, please. Thank you.
Today marks a new chapter, not only for the People's Democratic Institute, but for each one of us on this board. I am profoundly aware of the history and importance of the Institute, its role in shaping our party's ideology, and its commitment to empowering future generations of leaders. The BDI stands as a beacon of the ideals we hold very dear. A platform for promoting democratic principles, nurturing progressive ideas, and building capacity for effective governance. And now we are being entrusted with safeguarding this legacy and advancing it to new heights. This responsibility is one we do not take lightly. We understand that the People's Democratic Institute is the intellectual arm of a great party, PDP. It is where our principles are refined, where our policies are critically examined, and where we shape the future vision of the People's Democratic Party. Today, as we accept this charge, we pledge to dedicate ourselves fully to the mission and vision of PDR and to the guiding principles of the People's Democratic Party. We shall apply ourselves to the charter of the PDI for effective running of the Institute. We are committed to upholding the core values of our party, values of equity, justice, transparency, and progress. Every decision we make, every program we initiate, every step we take will be aimed at advancing these principles and enriching our democracy. We stand firmly by the constitution of our party and the democratic ideals that it embodies. Loyalty to our party's constitution shall be the heart of our commitment, for it is within these guidelines that our unity and strength as a political institution are fortified. Let me take a moment to express our gratitude once more to the leadership of the People's Democratic Party for this incredible opportunity. To our chairman, the National Executive Committee, and all the party stakeholders who have shown faith in us, we say thank you. Your confidence fuels our resolve to serve with integrity and passion. Equally, allow me to extend my deepest gratitude to His Excellency Governor Oluwaseyi Abiodun Makinde, the Executive Governor of your state, for his golden gesture to the People's Democratic Institute till date, for his unwavering dedication, resilience, and enduring philanthropy since the process of appointing the Visionary Director General activities. Your commitment shines brilliantly today, marking a new chapter of progress and purpose for our great party. Thank you, our amazing Governor and leader. As we embark on this journey, we pledge that we will lead with innovation, transparency, and inclusivity. We are passionate about equipping the next generation of leaders and ensuring that the People's Democratic Institute become a true engine for progressive thought, skill building, and intellectual discourse within our party and beyond. We envision a PDI as not just a research system, but a vibrant, inclusive hub where the youth, women, and all party members feel represented and inspired. Once again, on behalf of the Board of Governors, thank you for this honor. We are excited to get to work, and with your support, we will make you proud. Love you indeed, I love you indeed. Thank you very much.
PDP.
PDP. PDP. PDP.
Power to the people. PDI. Promoting democracy. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.